Can you hear me?
Gotcha.
All right, I got you.
Hey, good evening, volleyball fans and Mount Vernon Mustang fans. It's regional volleyball time. We're getting set here in Mount Vernon High School for another hot action. Mustangs coming at you tonight, getting started in about 3 or 4 minutes here. We'll definitely have national anthem and starting lineups coming up pretty quickly. But it's time to get started. I'm Jim Beatty, voice for Mustang Vision this year for volleyball, and sitting next to me had his debut mission on Tuesday night. Did an awesome job, Joseph Briesmeister. Joe, good. Welcome to the broadcast again tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Beatty. It was an interesting night last night. I was a little nervous, but, I think I did all right.
I thought you did fantastic. So much so I was ready to give up my seat to you tonight and just let you keep on rocking.
Oh, no. I couldn't take that from you.
So I'm glad to be able to do it with you tonight. So Joe and I will kind of trade back and forth the actions. Joe, one rule, you got to call me Jim, though. Set that Mr. Beatty. Leave that in church. You can call me Jim here.
Okay, Jim.
All right, so tonight, once again, and this is just so fantastic. I really enjoy the opportunity to introduce to you our sponsors as listeners. This is 100% free, and so whether you're watching it live with us tonight, whether you're going to watch it back at any point in time, Mustang Vision is brought to you by some incredible businesses in Lisburn and Mount Vernon. Those include our maroon sponsors. That's a year-long commitment. That's Ability Physical Therapy, Richardson Hanson Hotes Insurance Agency, Bunch Heating and Cooling, Gary's Foods, Lynch Ford Chevrolet, Downtown Dental, Iowa Physical Therapy, Holland Hall Engineering, Copenhagen Associates, Lunescus Consulting, Mount Vernon Bank and Trust Company, Robinson Construction, Budget Blinds of Eastern Iowa, Greater Cedar Rapids Community Foundation, and joining them are our seasonal sponsors, Mount Vernon Family Dentistry, Palisades Family Dental, Scores and Wilkie Liquors, U.S. Bank Home Mortgage Purchase and Refinancing, Bluegrass Enterprises, Mount Vernon Chiropractic, Mount Vernon Community Development Group, Bridge Community Bank, Photo Image, and Stuart Baxter Funeral Home. Thanks to those sponsors. You'll hear from them throughout the night. We've got a couple of commercials where possible that we'll spill those in there. But we are so appreciative that they carry this broadcast. Joe, it's really cool to me to think about the community supporting student athletes in the fine arts through this product that we got started during COVID.
Oh, absolutely. The support from the fans through not just volleyball from Mount Vernon, but every sport is just amazing.
And you guys do such a great job. I mean, it's easy. It's really easy to get behind a school that's doing well, and we're enjoying some incredible success this fall specifically. But ever since moving into this community in 2001, I've seen nothing but solid behavior, solid support for everything that Mount Vernon is. I love it here.
Yeah, absolutely. As an athlete here, too, after every game, or whether it be football, basketball, whatever it is I'm playing, I just get so many compliments from the parents here in the stands that watch, and even from family back at home because of this broadcast that's free to them.
Yep. Yeah, it's awesome. So we hope you enjoy the opportunity tonight. This is round 2 of the regional playoffs for volleyball. Chance to go to the regional final, and that regional final will take you to state. State this year being played down in Iowa City for the first time. It's been at the Cell in Cedar Rapids for as long as I can remember, and they're heading down to Excel or Access Arena down in Iowa City, the new place down in the Iowa River Landing. So it's going to be pretty cool to get a chance to go down there. We've got Benton Bobcats in town, the 20-23 Benton Bobcats taking on the 32-5 Mount Vernon Mustangs. They're getting ready for the starting lineups, and we'll do that with them. First, some appreciation for our officials, and the national anthem will be after the introduction of the starting lineups. Joe, this features teams that are recently very aware of each other. Mount Vernon and Benton saw each other, played each other in the WAMAC conference tournament just days ago. Mount Vernon winning in 2 straight sets there. Those were three-set matches. But since then, Benton jumped up and knocked off, had an upset in their first round, and are here on a pretty good wave of momentum. It's going to be interesting to see how they play tonight.
Yeah, they definitely have some momentum coming in behind them with that first round win for them. And so I mean, the record really can't speak for this team, I'd say. The Benton Bobcats are probably much better than their 20-23 record, and Mount Vernon needs to come out ready. They seemed a little sluggish Monday night when they came out.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I started the start of that game, making sure that you guys were on air and everything, and watched about that first set, and they picked it up, but they did kind of get started a little sluggish, and so we're hoping to see them rocket out of the gates tonight. There's some good competition, and so we talk a lot about Chloe Meester, and she's a leader in kills for Mount Vernon, 443 on the season. Right behind her is Piper Nelson for the Bobcats at 419, so they've got a hitter that can bring the heat for Benton. It'll be interesting to see, how they play and how that works into the pressure. The big difference that I've seen in the statistics, though, is hitting percentage, and Chloe Meester hits at a really high, almost 500% efficiency, and well over 1,100 attempts from Piper Nelson from Benton, hitting just under 200. So a lot of effectiveness on the Mount Vernon attack.
Yeah, and a lot of that credit deserves to go to Madeline Miller, who's just an amazing setter. She really sets the court very well for the Mustangs.
We're going to take the national anthem here for a break, and then we'll be right back for some more pregame analysis. And the national anthem presented means one thing. We're headed towards first serve and the excitement of tonight. Joe, we were talking just a little bit about statistics there and kind of looking down the line. Mount Vernon just fields an incredibly diverse team. And I know you guys called a lot of that action on Tuesday night and talked about it, about the front row performance, front line performance. Madeline Miller there, you already called attention to her, an incredible setter, done great things for this club. But boy, does she have a wealth of hitters to hit to set up. Yeah,
she can set basically anywhere on that front row she wants. And even sometimes with Chloe now playing the back row, she can set her.
Yeah, absolutely. Chloe's spending a lot more time there than she did at the start of the season, and that's kind of something to relish, is having a hitter of that quality coming out of the back row. Benton's going to start off with a lineup that includes libero Olivia Jans, number 3 Emma Townsley, a junior, Jenna Tweet, number 4, she's a senior, Addison Phillips a senior, and we're underway. McKenna Kramer, Mabry Sadler rounds out that Benton lineup. Mount Vernon, of course, the home team getting the first chance to serve in set 1. Benton successfully able to handle Mount Vernon's attack first couple of times there, and there's going to be a kill for Kyla Vaughn to get things started in the scoring for Mount Vernon. If you were checking in, waiting on the golden voice of Truman Jordan, I'm pleased to say that Truman's sitting right next to me. He's going to be on between sets with some statistics for us, but we're entering a new era here on Mustang Vision, trying to get more students involved. Great to have Joe alongside.
And
Joe,
great hit there by Chloe Meester for another point for the Mustangs.
Doesn't take long to feed her and get a point from her, does it?
Absolutely not. Brooke Elliston still serving here.
So Benton sets up a pretty wide defense to receive this set, or the serve from Brooke Ellison. Ball in play, back row is able to move it forward with the pass. There's Addison Phillips with the kill attempt. They're going to get a point out of that. Mustangs not able to handle the ball, and so side out to the Bobcats.
Yeah, really just a miscommunication there between Cameron Brand and Jaden.
Front line for the Mustangs, Chloe Meester, Madeline Miller, and Kyla Vaughn. Going to set up Chloe, and Joe, it just doesn't get old, does it?
No, it doesn't.
She is so high on her launch. That's the thing, and I really enjoyed this particular arrangement because we were able to see the angle that ball comes down to the floor, and it is as vertical as you can get on the volleyball court.
Yeah, and just the timing there from Madeline and Chloe.
And there's going to be a point. The libero for the Bobcats, Olivia Jans, just had to advance the ball over the net, and Mount Vernon was talking about setting up the play, didn't see the ball land. Jans back to serve at 2-3 for Benton. Brooke Ellison with the pass. They're going to set up Parker Whittam down the middle. She gets her first kill. Had the block set up with McKenna Kramer, and Whittam took it off the side of her arm.
Back to serve now for the Mustangs, number 10, Madeline Miller.
Madeline Miller, if you're a volleyball fan at the college level, you're going to get a chance to see her. So, Joe, one of the things you talked about on that first point by Benton, and then a little bit seen just there, is communication between players. Communication on the volleyball court is so important.
Yeah, it really is. And usually the second ball will be the libero's ball, and that's, I think, what Brooke Ellison thought there. And just kind of miscommunication, and that ball drops right in between them.
There's the overpass. Sometimes that happens on a strong serve. Cameron Brand not able to control the ball, and putting it away was Piper Nelson now on the court for Benton. Set one now tied 4-all. Emma Meester has the entire court, drives it wide, and so Benton's going to take a lead here in set one. So just looking at the statistics and the way that the scoring went in Benton's first round match, a lot of what we're seeing right here is the way they snuck up on their opponent, West Marshall, and ended up winning that game. And there's another hitting error for Mount Vernon. Emma Meester drives it out wide on the other side of the court.
Yeah, just a few bad times there, hits with Emma.
Cameron Brand with a pass, and Chloe Meester is going to get the ball back, and you can see her kind of just throw her hands down and say, come on, let's get this going. Let's find our rhythm. So side out to the Mustangs.
Chloe now back to serve for the Mustangs. 5-6. Benton's up.
A little miscommunication and a nice block at the net, but Benton able to handle it, keep the ball going. And then our players almost ran into each other. Miller and Meester couldn't quite clear the floor for one of them to get at it. And on rotation now, Chloe Meester goes out with Benton in the lead, 7-5. This is a rotation we need to handle quickly. There's the pass from Brand. Emma Meester with a point, hits it off the block. Addison Phillips was lined up for the block and not able to handle it. And now Addison Gukin and Kyla Vaughn come back in for the Mustangs.
Here's Addison back to serve. She rotates in about once or twice a game every time just to get back there and serve a few.
She's a serving specialist. She hits a nasty ball. That one came out pretty straight, but Benton had trouble handling it. Oh, nice dive by Brooke Ellison to keep that ball alive. There's an overpass. Emma Meester's going to put it away. That one lands in.
Back-to-back hits there by Emma Meester.
Yep. We had three officials looking at each other trying to decide where that ball landed in or not. Finally, with semi-confidence, they called it, and it's back to a tie game. There, Gukin put in some of that rotation. Handled nicely, though, by Benton. There's a great arm in the air by Gukin to keep that ball alive. Now Brooke Ellison just moves it back over to the Bobcats. Setting up down the middle for Addison Phillips. And she gets the point. She goes with the soft touch. A lot of strategy, Joe, and quick reaction, quick decision-making by both teams. We see Madeline Miller take that shot herself quite a bit. But the decision to go with the touch versus the kill attempt, that's really important for the player.
Yeah, and it's really just about your court vision there. She saw a spot that was not covered by the Mustangs and took advantage of it.
Emma Meester rockets one down to the middle of the Bobcat defense to get the ball back on the Mustang side. Jaden Rowland in on rotation, and Cameron Brand also checking in.
Jaden's back to serve now.
Jaden Rowland, another one of those servers for Mount Vernon that can get into a nice run of serves. There's a hitting error by number 5, Zoe Jungi, now in for the Bobcats. So that goes wide. Serving 9-8, Rolland. Phillips. And there's a budget blinds of Eastern Iowa blocked by Kyla Vaughn. Kyla is our leading season block leader. Or that's kind of redundant there, right? Our season-long block leader. That's at least her 72nd block on the season. Great work by Kyla Vaughn. Thank you to Budget Blinds of Eastern Iowa for your sponsorship. Nice reaction by Jaden to keep that ball alive, then blocked back the other way. Jenna Tweed and Zoe Jungi able to block that return by Brooke Ellison.
You know, Jim, something I think you do so well is just knowing the names on the court. I had a few times there yesterday where I would have no idea what the other team's names were and had to think about it for a few seconds before saying something.
Yeah, numbers and names, they just kind of stick with me. But there's a kill by Brooke Ellison. Great job. Get the ball back over, and Mount Vernon up to 11-9. It's amazing to me when you play back and forth, you get this, the score seems tied, and it's just side-out volleyball, and then all of a sudden you blink, and Mount Vernon's up a couple of points.
Brooke Ellison there with the serve, 11-9 Mustangs.
Addison Phillips finds the opening in the defense, and that is a typical weakness of this Mustang defense, is that really both corners, but it typically is the weak side corner, and Addison Phillips able to find it. She steps back to serve now at 10-11. Pass by Rowland. Miller takes it herself. The patented setter take.
Great spot there by Madeline Miller. She does that at least 3 or 4 times most games and seems to always find a spot in the defense where no one is.
It's very rare that they're able to return that because she picks her timing so well.
Absolutely.
It's a set to Piper Nelson. Again, Piper is the kill leader for the Bobcats. 6 different hitters for Benton already. They're really rotating that front line in there. Truman Jordan pulls my attention to that. And I had noticed that there's another block. This time it's Parker Whittam. Madeline Miller might have got a piece of that one too.
I think she did. I think she had a hand on that.
The up official was right in line with me, so I'll go with your eyes on that. We'll give that block to Madeline Miller. And it's 14-10, Cameron Brand serving. It's a hitting error long on Emma Townsley. That'll be another point to the Mustangs. So, Joe, we're kind of seeing what typically happens in these games, at least this year for the Mustangs, is might play around early, but eventually kind of in the middle of that match, they really kind of find some horsepower and stretch this score out.
Yeah, and that's absolutely what it was like Monday. They started off a little rough, and I think it was 9-8 at one point, and then the Mustangs just pulled ahead.
Coach Embertson calls his first timeout. Head coach for the Bobcats, Mike Embertson. He's assisted by Mackenzie Banzik, Heidi Kuiper, and Haley Jacobs. Of course, that tremendous Mount Vernon Mustang coaching staff. Head coach Maggie Willems, assisted by Robin Brand, Dolphy Calm, Amber Hess, Jeff Walker. And then let's give some love to the managers out there, some of your fellow students, Meredith McCollum, Gwen Steiny, and Ava Willems. Great to see such a family in this sport, but really all of our sports amount to some form of family like that. Joe, one of the things I always notice about the Mustangs is they're the first team out of every timeout. Coach Willems has them back on the floor, ready for action. They want to be the aggressor. Brand serving 15-10. There's going to be a set down the middle. Piper Nelson not able to do much with it. Madeline Miller takes it herself. She dumps it. So a reverse hand dump over the back of the right shoulder for the point. How about that?
That was a great one. We saw that on Monday, too. With she had 2 of those, I think, Monday, and both of them just dropped right down. Defense wasn't ready for it.
And I think that's a shot. There's an ace right there from Brooke Ellison. That's a shot that she didn't at least I don't remember her showing that last year, this kind of behind your back, dump it, no look.
Yeah, the ace there actually by Cameron Brand.
Truman says that's the first ace of the night for the Mustangs, so it's kind of surprising to get this far into a set without an ace for the Mustangs. There's Chloe Meester pounding it off the block. The block was set nicely there, Joe, but just too much power from Chloe Meester.
Yep. And she actually dug that ball up, too.
She
way
did.
To get back to her spot.
Yep. Yeah, nice hustle. Good footwork. So Cameron Brand serving 18-10 as this set has really become a Mustang set now. Really tight through the first third of the match. Brooke Ellison backs up nicely to pass that ball. Now Chloe Meester right out of the middle, handled by Phillips in the back row. Now they're going to set up Nelson. Nelson is covered by Rollin. And then Parker Whittam puts it away for the ace. I think that's the second ace. Or not the ace, the kill. Second kill for Parker Whittam tonight. Joe, Truman and I like to talk about the magic number of 20. You get to 20 before the other opponent, and you've got the advantage for the set, and we're right on the precipice of 20 here. Let's see if they can get it. Miller to Meester. That's a pretty good bet, and that is what it'll be.
Yeah, Miller to Meester is always a pretty good bet there.
Wow.
And there's another timeout from the Bobcats.
Yep, final timeout for Coach Embretson here in the first set. And that's going to be at 20-10. Pretty much you have to take that timeout, right? I mean, you've only 5 more points left for the Mustangs in this set, and he's got to do something to – it's going to be tough. You're looking at a minor mountain here for them to climb in this first set, but I think you're also setting up set number 2 with this timeout to talk about what they did in that first third. How do you apply it going forward, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this set, climbing back 15 points to try and pull off a win without the other team getting 5, that's a really, really big obstacle. So I think he's definitely setting up that second set for them.
Truman Jordan over here reminds me that that's 5 straight points for the Mustangs since Coach Embretson took his first timeout. So, that's really quality dominating play by Coach Willems and her squad to control the momentum right away. Brand served the whole time. Yeah, absolutely. Excellent stat work here. I can always trust Truman to keep my mind straight. Cameron Brand with the serve at 20-10, coming out of the timeout. Emma Townsley gets it back over to the Mustangs. Parker Whittam's going to end up with another kill. That's her third of the night. It's 21-10. So since the first timeout, it's 6 straight points now for the Mustangs. 4 points to set. Tough pass, but Piper Nelson's got a shot at it. She hits long, and it'll be another point to the Mustangs. So the Mustangs have dominated in this in recent years against the Bobcats. In fact, they're undefeated against Bobcats lately. But like you said, you still have to play this contest, and Benton has shown some flashes of real opportunity in this game. It's just tough for them to string it together with consistency, and they've got to start by eliminating those hitting errors.
Yeah, that's the second hitting error in a row, and I think they're 4th for this set.
And that one in particular was to a wide open spot on the floor. Just push that one across the Mustangs. 23-10, and Whittam just slips it across the net, and so it'll be a Benton opportunity. And there's a powerful shot by Nelson. There's an example of the kills, how she got to 419. She hit that one with a strong right arm and just rifled it through the Mustang defense. So that stops the streak for the Mustangs. They'd reeled off close to 10 in a row. And now it'll be the libero, Olivia Jan, serving 11-23. That one looked like a flat volleyball. It just kind of died off her arm.
Yeah, didn't go very far.
So serving for the set, Madeline Miller, 24-11. Tough reach. Oh, and there's a nice shot by Nelson. She gets another one. I think that's her second for the night. And staves off set point. But again, they're climbing Everest at this point, 24-12. Emma Townsley to serve at 12-24. Brand with a pass. Miller sets it over to Chloe Meester, and off the block. Nice job at the net for the Bobcats. It's going to give them a chance, and Nelson fires one, and they're going to call a point to the Mustangs, no touch. No, they're going to give a point to the Bobcats, saying the Mustangs were in the net, and I think that was Miller they might have called in the net.
Yeah, Miller and Parker Whittem went up to block that one, and
Truman said it was Emma Meester. He's got a better look than I do, but that's the set. As off the serve, not able to get that ball in. It'll be a Mustang win in set one, 25-13, and we're going to take just a couple of minutes. We got about a 3-minute break here. We're going to feature one of our commercials from one of our sponsors. We'll be back with some statistics.
Hi, I'm Lisa Lansing with Lynchford Chevrolet. As you're probably aware, new vehicle inventory is at an all-time low. However, there's an option. One way is for you to special order your new vehicle exactly how you want it. You pick the model, the equipment, and even the color. It doesn't cost any extra, and our salaried salespeople will work with you to make sure your vehicle gets top priority. So let us help you order your new vehicle of your dreams at Lynch Ford and Lynch Chevrolet, where we really are selling a lot of cars in a very different way.
New window coverings are a fantastic way to update and transform a space, and in this part of the country, we hope you'll consider Budget Blinds. Your local franchisee, the Sill family, and their many team members recently received 2 huge national honors. They won the National Franchisee of the Year award from Budget Blinds, and they earned our National Best of the Best award for customer satisfaction based on their record of outstanding customer reviews for years. We love that Budget Blinds has the huge selection and buying power of a big national chain, but operates with the personal touch that comes with local family businesses. If you're looking for stunning blinds, shades, shutters, drapery, the Budget Blinds team has what you need both residentially and commercially. The Sill family will bring many great design ideas to the table in an in-home consultation. Then their installation teams will make sure that your window coverings are installed professionally, ensuring many years of enjoyment. Please visit budgetblinds.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. Budget Blinds, style and service for every budget.
And we're back, and I've got Truman Jordan with me. Truman, we just finished with a Budget Blinds of Eastern Iowa commercial. Some really good blocking by the Mustangs in that first set. Pretty dominant performance after kind of a sluggish start.
Yeah, it was a very sluggish start, but we ended up with 15 kills, led by Chloe Meester with 5, which is her season average, 5 kills a set, which is impressive. Leads one of the leaders in the state. I had us for 1 block, but that's blocked for point. You're quite right. We had a lot of blocks in which we rejected the ball and they got it back again. We had 1 ace. That made us a plus 17, and we had 3 hitting errors early in the set. We had 1 net near the end. That's a -4, so we were plus 13 for the set, which is very good.
Plus 13, very good. And what stands out to me in those numbers is that 15 points off of kills on a 25-point set,
exactly.
That's producing your win, not letting the other team give it away.
I checked early on, and all the points we had were kills, and half of the points they had, we had given them because we let the ball fall on our side of the court because we couldn't decide who was going to handle it. That happened 3 times.
Yeah, we had some early communication errors, but they kind of got it settled down, looked really strong in the second half of that set.
And Cameron Brand serving, she had 8. We scored 8 straight points on her serve, and that just swept them off the floor.
Yeah. Truman, I'm so glad to have you here for stats. We'll be back to you at the end of set 2. We're gonna
I'll be ready.
All right, thank you, sir. Truman Jordan, my longtime sidekick here in volleyball, and great to have him still here. We're underway here in set 2. Benton, of course, starts with the ball, and Kyla Vaughn gets an early kill. Joe, it's good to have you back under the headset. I'm gonna give you more of this second set. Let's have some fun here. That's a strong start for the Mustangs.
It is a strong start, and now serving will be Cameron Brand, 1-0 Mustangs. Bobcats return that nicely. The hit by number 10 there, Piper Nelson was blocked out of bounds by the Mustangs.
Good setup on the block, but, it's so tough with arm angle, and she just hit it at the right direction. Came right back at her.
Yeah, hit that from the side and just came right back to her. Serving number 1 there, Olivia Jans for Benton. Set there to Parker Whittam with the hit over. Good spot there in the back corner by Parker Whittam.
Really good spot. I don't know if you noticed this, but they played decoy with Chloe Meester. She made a run at the net, and just at the last second, Madeline quick set Parker Whittam and left it wide open in that corner.
Yeah, and I bet that's intimidating. Chloe Meester coming up to the net.
Yeah, for sure.
Madeline with the serve there. The hit by number 10. And Brooke Ellison manages to get that up. Mustangs just get that over. And there, Piper Nelson gets set again, but that time it's blocked by the Mustangs.
Emma Meester with the Budget Blinds of Eastern Iowa blocked. Second of the night for the Mustangs.
Madeline Miller back to serve for the Mustangs, 3-1.
This one, she floats in there. Nice variation in her serve.
There you have Piper Nelson. She just kind of hit that one barely into the net. Gets over. And they're going to call that out for the hit by the Mustangs.
Yeah, it was hit wide by Emma Meester. Nice reaction, though. It's not one of those things that'll show up in the stats, but Chloe Meester with a really quick reaction on that shove over the net to keep that ball alive for the Mustangs.
Yeah, great reaction time there by Chloe. To serve number 3, Emma Townsley for Benton. Hit there by Chloe Meester, and the libero, Johns, couldn't quite keep that one in bounds.
Chance goes to the floor with it, but my land, that ball was humming when Chloe hit that.
Yeah, that one came hard off the hand. Chloe Meester now back to serve. She'll take that one to the back row of Benton.
Nice little touch shot handled with the Mustangs. Good reaction time.
And a touch there from Brooke Ellison. That one will be set straight back to Chloe. Madeline with the set to Parker Whittam. Benton returns that nicely. Set to a back row there. I don't know who that was in the back row. Number 6,
Phillips.
Zoe. Oh, that was Phillips?
Yep, Addison Phillips. And then a nice shot by the Mustangs to get the kill. Phillips tried she got pulled way forward, tried to go back after it, couldn't get her arm on it.
Yeah, setting the back row there for Phillips was an interesting choice by the Bobcats. Chloe serves again. There with a big hit from Piper Nelson.
Nelson's got some power. It is so easy to see how she's got 419. Well, probably now 423 maybe, I think, if my numbers are correct, but she really can hit it.
She can hit that ball, and she's back to serve now. Retrieved by Cameron Brand. Set there to Emma Meester. She'll just tip it over to the Bobcats. Hitting from the back row is Nelson again. And there's kind of a hit off the hand by Brooke Ellison.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, but I got to say there was an element of both in that. Great shot by Brooke Ellison. Oh, yeah, great shave by Erin Jackson. I don't know if you guys caught that on video, but Erin Jackson plays so solid defense in the back row.
Serve here by Addison Gukin. She's coming again to serve. And that one hit over by number 12, McKenna Kramer. Here's a hit of her own. Here with a hit of her own, Brooke Ellison. Madeline Miller will get that up. Back to Ellison again with another hit. Benton's retrieve it again. And that one blocked by Kyla Vaughn.
Oh, and
the Bobcats find a spot there in the defense of the Mustangs.
We call that the campfire defense, Joe. It kind of lands in the middle as everybody's sitting there warming themselves on a campfire, and it just goes to the floor. Erin Jackson dove after it. One of the things we talked about, Erin Jackson catching a nice reaction to dig that shot by Nelson out of the back row. She hits that ball from the back row every bit as hard as she does at the net. My land, she hits that hard.
Oh, absolutely. There was a serving error by Brooke DeReich.
Gives the ball back to the Mustang. Jaden Rowland in now to serve.
Jaden with the serve. Back to that back row of the Bobcats. They'll tip it over with Addison Phillips, and Brooke Ellison will be blocked by number 5, I think.
Yep, Zoe Jungi.
Jungi.
Yep. Zoe Jungi out there. That was a solid block. She was lined up just perfectly. Brooke Ellison does give up a little height on the typical frontline player for Mustangs, but she jumps so well and hits hard too.
Yep. Kyla Vaughn gets set there, and she'll take that one a little high.
Yeah, and she actually called for that one too. I saw her as she was moving to the right, called for Madeline to set her up, and she just got underneath of it too much.
Yep, serving now number 21, Maubrey Sadler. And there was a kill by Brooke Ellison.
Yeah. Great shot, and she adjusted her angle. The libero was diving into the center, and she hit it wide past her on the right, so she had all of her momentum going away from where that ball ended up. So here we're kind of in the first third of this second set, and it's still pretty tight.
Yeah, serving there was Brooke Ellison.
Oof.
They're a little short set to number 6 of the Bobcats.
Oh,
and that one caught Jaden Rowland
Oh my
by
God.
surprise.
I think she passed that with her jaw, but somehow she got that back across the net. And the hitting error by the Bobcats gives the point to the Mustangs.
Yep. There's Brooke Ellison again with the serve. Hit there by Addison Phillips. Set to Chloe, and she'll spike it down right on top of the Bobcats.
Goodbye. Yep, that was a solid shot again. It had been just a little bit since of course, she'd been rotated out too, so that's why we didn't see her with any attempts. Well, we'll see several shots, I think, over the next 5-6 points from Chloe.
Yep. Still serving is Brooke Ellison, and
they're going to call Chloe over the net. Said she stepped under the net. Coach Willems thought they might have called back row attack, which she wasn't, but they called her under the net. It was a nice block otherwise.
yeah.
And she'll get the point right back.
Yep. Big hit there from Chloe Meester.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I look for in athletes is how they handle pressure. When adversity strikes, they just shake it off, go on to the next one, and that's what I see out of Chloe Meester each and every time is, it didn't faze her that she got called for that error. She just goes right after the next.
Serving error there by Cameron Brand.
Little long. She was going for that tight shot on the back line.
Just a bit long. Serving now, Olivia Jans.
Yep. Serving 8-11. Libero just over the tape. Teardrop shot, and the Mustangs couldn't react to it. Cameron Brand dove and kept it alive, but they just couldn't get anybody underneath of her to help out, and it'll be that's an ace for Jans.
That one dropped kind of right back on Cameron's head.
Floats another one in there. Tough for the Mustangs to react, but Chloe Meester somehow gets an ace or a kill out of it.
Bit of a broken play by the Mustangs there, but whatever works.
Yeah. So 2 in a row by Jans that just floated over the net. The Mustangs were looking for something harder.
Madeline Miller to serve. To that back row of the Bobcats, and
Nelson.
Big kill there by Nelson again.
Nelson put it in the lap of Cameron Brand, and it about hit her in the face. That was a defensive touch.
And Nelson's not the tallest of some volleyball players we've ever seen, but boy, does she get up there. Serving there, number 3, Townsley for the Bobcats. Hit here by Chloe Meester.
Oh, hits
and
wide.
They're going to call that out.
Goes wide. Wow. So Bobcats keeping the second set really tight right now. Certainly 11-12.
And we've kind of got to that middle ground, and now it's a tie game.
Tie game. Some hitting errors from the Mustangs, 3 in a row, and Coach Willems is going to call a timeout. It's her first of the match, and the first of this second set. And so they're struggling. The Bobcats are putting the ball sometimes when the team doesn't process the ball the way that your expectation is, it can get you out of rhythm, get you out of rotation. And I think that's what we're seeing from the Mustangs. And so they're trying to compensate from that and just not hitting the alleys the way they would normally like to is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, and I think Maggie's seeing that as well, as she did not look too ecstatic about the way her team was playing over on that sideline. I mean, she expects perfection out of this team, and when she doesn't get it, she gets a little crabby.
That might be a quote that shows up on some student bulletin board tomorrow. She did not look that ecstatic. Yeah. Quick stat from Truman Jordan, 7 of the 12 points for the Bobcats have been hitting errors from the Mustangs, and so that's certainly what Coach Willems was wanting to correct. And they do. Come out of the timeout. There's two things that you want to do out of the timeout, Joe. If you call the timeout, you don't control the serve, you got to get the point. If you come out and you control the serve, you got to get the serve in. Mustangs did just that and controlled the point, got the point back. Now they've got serve and Chloe Meester. Oh, nice reaction by
Madeline Miller.
Madeline Miller, yeah. Pancaked. Oh, and then a shot. Shot by Jungi.
That one looked like it was going a little long, but Madeline Miller decided she was going to try and get that in. Just went off one of her hands.
Again, I think that's one of those times where the ball's coming at you so quickly you can't think not to react. You just instinctively try to hit it.
Oh, absolutely. Nelson there with the serve into the net.
You know, I don't know that I've seen a player in recent years whose arm explodes into the ball as quickly or violently as what Nelson's does. It's like, you know, she takes this nice smooth stroke and then all of a sudden it's shot out of a cannon. It's really, really powerful.
Yeah. And when she brings her arm down, she hits that ball hard.
Nice serve for an ace by Gukin. Mustangs certainly need some help from the service line. First ace of the set, says Truman.
Addison serving again to that back row, and
that's going to be a second ace. I'm going to give them an ace on that. I'm not sure what Truman, we'll find out what Truman gives them, but I think it was a passing error off the serve. It's whether or not he calls it a hard serve or truly a passing error.
It seemed Nelson had struggles with that, struggles with that one there from Addison Gukin.
So he did not give an ace on the last one, but he is going to give an ace there. And that's going to be a Coach Ebertson timeout. So the two coaches trying to control the momentum, and this is an important set for Benton. You go down 2-0 to Mount Vernon. It's just so much power, so much talent on that squad, and Benton has been really scrappy tonight. They had to know coming in that against Mount Vernon that it was going to be a tall order to keep this tight. They've done a good job getting it, but they've got to hold the set as close as possible and hope to rip it out at the end.
And kudos to them for keeping it this close throughout two sets. I mean, Mount Vernon's an amazing volleyball team, and they're going to go on to play in state, and they may even win it this year. And Benton's keeping it close.
They really are.
Addison Gukin still serving for the Mustangs.
Addison Gukin out of the timeout. Jans. And it'll be a show. Ooh, they're going to just out the shove from Phillips. Boy, she took an opportunity there, saw the opening at the end line, and just went a little too strong on that. Holy cow.
So Addison Gukin is still serving for the Mustangs. This might be her fourth serve in a row.
And there's an ace.
Nelson again.
They found Gukin's found the right place to strike.
A great spot by Addison Gukin.
Here's that number 20 we like to see come up first for the Mustangs. Short set to Phillips, and she's going to tip it outside. So that's the second time that they've had that near corner right side open for the tip and have gone long with it. So Phillips just getting a little excited there.
Addison Gukin still serving for the Mustangs. It's 2013. And the setter will put that one over for Benton.
Yeah, that was a nice job. They had that campfire defense.
Yeah, Mustangs recover, though.
Yep.
No. Couldn't quite make it to that.
So Addison Phillips has done a great job of that little tip shot, finding a way to keep the keep the Mustangs at bay, or at least on their tiptoes. She's the second leading kill artist for the Bobcats. Madeline Miller back set to Emma Meester. How about that one, Joe?
That was a good one from Emma Meester there. She got it kind of under those blockers' hands, and they got it stuck between the net.
Another thing that I noticed in the statistics, and I just mentioned that Addison Phillips was their second leading kill. They have almost all of their offense going through those two ladies, Nelson and Phillips. There's another ace, Jaden Rowland. And so much so that if you take Chloe Meester and set her efficiency, she's got 443 kills on 779 attempts going into tonight. The next three highest on the Mustangs totaled the same number of attempts that Addison Phillips gets. It's just unbelievable how many offensive touches that Phillips and Nelson get on this squad.
Yeah, and how much the Bobcats must rely on them. Because if they're not in there, then the Bobcats have nothing. They are
Nice
blocked
block
by Kyla Vaughn.
Oh, great dive by Jaden Rowland to keep that ball alive. Madeline Miller going to set up Vaughn.
Bobcats recover. And there, another block by Kyla Vaughn. Set back again, and another block there by Kyla Vaughn. That's 3 in a row.
3 on the same volley, and Kyla Vaughn gets the third time a charm to go. That's a Budget Blinds of Eastern Iowa. Joe, we say that Budget Blinds of Eastern Iowa, they shut out the sunlight. That's what Vaughn did right there. There's no hope on that ball. She smothered it. Serving set point, Jaden Rowland.
And I think that was another block by Kyla Vaughn for the game there.
I think so. I think
set.
That's a hat trick for
Excuse
Kyla
me.
Vaughn on the night as her second in that set. I think you're right. I think it touched the bottom of the heels of her hand. And so the Mustangs take the second set 25-14, just giving away one extra point than what they did in the first set. And I think what we're going to see when we go to Truman with these statistics, we're going to find that there was probably an excessive number of points given to Benton that time around. We're going to be back here in just a minute with Truman Jordan, but before...
Don't let your aches and pains go untreated. Don't be content with less than ideal function of your body. Get back to an active and progressing lifestyle with help from Ability Physical Therapy and Elite Fitness. At Ability Physical Therapy and Elite Fitness, our team of professional therapists, trainers, and office staff are dedicated to getting you back in your optimal physical function. Choose one of our 4 convenient locations in Center Point, Marion, Mount Vernon, and Solon. For total patient care, choose Ability Physical Therapy.
And we're back from the commercial. Thank you, Ability Physical Therapy, one of our season-long sponsors. We've got a first set and a second set put away by Mount Vernon, 25-13 in set 1, 25-14 in set 2. Back with us is Truman Jordan. And Truman, statistics, we saw a strong output in offensive generation by the Mustangs in that first set. What do we find in set 2?
Well, we had as much offense in this set. It was just differently distributed. We had 15 kills in the first set and only 11 in the second set. But in the first set, we only had 1 block and 1 ace. And this time we had 2 blocks and 4 aces. So we were still plus 17. Unfortunately, we had 5 hitting errors. And we only had 3 in the first set. Now, one of those hitting errors was on Emma Meester, and the line judge in the far corner called it in, and then he called it out. And frankly, I don't think he had any idea what was going on. So you shouldn't hold that. We had an over the net, which I think was a questionable call because I thought it was a legal play, but he's the umpire. We ended up with -7, so we're only plus 10 for the set. But we played much better in the back row, I thought. Coach called a timeout at 12-12, and we won the set 25-14. That means we outscored them 13-2 after that timeout. We got serious.
Yeah, and
And
that's
the Gookin serve Just like Brandon the first set had a long run, Gookin had a long run, and it turned the game around.
Absolutely. Great statistics. We'll be back for you one more time at the close of the match or close of the third set. We don't know which is going to happen here. We're going to the third set. Mount Vernon will have the serve. So happy to have those statistics. I never ceases to amaze me how quickly that man can come up with those numbers. He's got pluses and minuses, and that mind just is a bunch of gears up there working hard. So thanks, Truman Jordan, for that. So, Joe, 2 dominant sets from the Mustangs, and it's really win or go home in this set for Benton. They've got to have this set. It's going to be another set to 25. And I get a sense that, they've done some interesting things to set the Mustangs off. Can they come up with the versatility of the firepower to maybe steal this third set?
And I think if they can, we'll see it early here, because they do not want to go into that middle part of the set even with the Mustangs. They'll want to be up.
Yeah, I agree. Brooke Ellison starting with the serve for the Mustangs one more time. Addison Phillips hits that one wide. Serving 1-0 is Ellison. This one's going to just be pushed back over by Jenna Tweed to the Mustangs. Setting up Kyla Vaughn, has it blocked back at her. Madeline Miller takes it herself, and she'll earn the kill. So great reaction by Madeline Miller. 2 straight points for the Mustangs. Front row again as normal. Chloe Meester, Madeline Miller, and Kyla Vaughn. Back row Jaden Rowland, the libero Cameron Brand, and serving Brooke Ellison.
Yeah, great recognition there by Madeline Miller to see them all set up for the block and not expecting her little tip over.
Jaden Rowland with another great defensive play to keep that ball alive. Gives the Mustangs a chance, and they're going to win the point. The extra effort to keep the ball alive, you never know what's going to happen, and this time they get the point on an air shot.
Yeah, and that's 2 hitting errors in the first 3 points here for the Bobcats.
So a 3-0 start's not what Coach Embertson had probably dialed up at the break. Here's the set. Back set to Phillips. She shoves that one across, handled by the Mustangs. Madeline Miller underneath of it, and Chloe Meester drives it onto the tape. It runs down the tape and out of bounds, and so it'll be a point to the to the Bobcats. Side out. Phillips to serve 1-3. That was a little unfortunate to catch that much of the tape. Keep that ball running down. Ellison with the pass. Madeline Miller underneath of it, out to Chloe Meester. She had to run to get it. She got just enough of it to get it through that right set of hands for the point.
Yeah, and that block there by the Bobcats wasn't really set up the greatest. I don't really think they came up together on that one, so Chloe Meester able to sneak it through there.
Another great reaction by Jaden Rowland. Her defense has been so solid tonight. The setter sets Nelson, who just gives it back to the Mustangs. Now Chloe Meester gets it back on the give and go, and it'll be in. I call that a give and go. It's much like in basketball. So you saw the Chloe Meester with the reaction, dug it, gave it to Miller, said give it back to me, and she pounds that one down to the right side.
Yeah, and really the Mustangs are able to get that point because of the save by Jaden Rowland. She's had some amazing saves getting all over the floor.
Brand serving 5-1. Nelson tips it up over the Mustangs. And Meester off the block. That was a block attempt from the setter, Emma Townsley, and over there to help was Jenna Tweed, and just too much power from Meester. Big run here by the Mustangs to start set 3. Brand serving 6-1. She floats this one, catches them off guard. That's going to be an ace serve for Cameron Brand.
And here we have a timeout by the Bobcats. They're seeming really flustered here in this last third set.
Well, and you're exactly right. The Mustangs, I think, went out into that break and said, okay, this set, put it all together, give me all your focus. I'm imagining Coach Willem saying this. And they've come out and put it on the floor. I mean, everything has gone right for the Mustangs so far in this third set.
Yeah, and we've seen at least 2 hitting arrows here from the Bobcats.
Yep. Mustangs are back out of that timeout early, and why shouldn't they be? They had all the momentum going out, and they want to keep that on the floor, so they are all ready to go. And Cameron Brand has been on a nice little run here with the serve. She's serving 7-1 out of the timeout. Joe, what's one of the keys out of a timeout?
I'd say they just really go back to exactly what they were doing beforehand. I mean, Chloe Meester's had a few good hits here. That one, Cameron Brand gets up. It gets high, but
actually went through the girder. A lot of times they hit the girder, bounce back, but that one went through one of the triangles in the girder and came out the other side and ended up with a point for the Mustangs, serving 8-1. Number 1 point coming out of the timeout, get your serve in, and she did just that. Townsley with the set. Nelson had a block back at her, but they were able to keep it alive. Madeline Miller takes it herself, and it's going to be tipped back over the net and out of bounds. So Benton reacting as well as they can, but when you're diving uncontrollably, the ball's just not going to make it in at a high percentage. Great hustle from Benton, but the Mustangs are getting every hand on every ball right now.
Yeah, and a great block there by Parker Whittam on Nelson's hit.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
And now we have an ace from Cameron Brand.
That was absolutely filthy, Joe. That ball just dove.
Beautiful serve there from Cameron.
Yeah. That's another one. That ball's just like knuckling in the air. Nelson up over the top. Rolling with another great defensive save. And it didn't take power this time from Chloe Meester. It just took the right angle, and she gets the kill.
Yeah, and we see Jaden Rowland getting on the floor again for another save.
So one of our tough duties is player of the game, player of the match. We're gonna have to figure that one out. And there's several candidates right now as I'm looking at the statistics. Nice work by the Mustangs to keep that alive. Rolling underneath of it again. Madeline Miller out to Chloe Meester, and she puts that one away. The eye candy says it's easy to look at Chloe Meester's statistics. That's her 6th kill of 15. That's 15 total on the night for Chloe Meester, 6 in this set alone. So like I said, it's tough, Joe, to ignore that kind of a number. But oftentimes, the obvious is not the storyline. And you said it, I think. Chloe Meester's getting a lot of opportunities because our defense is so strong, and that's kind of anchored by Jaden Rowland.
Yeah, and there's more to the game than what meets the eye, right? There's more than just the flashy hits by Chloe Meester here. There's everything else that kind of goes into getting that so that the ball is perfectly set up for Chloe to just pound down onto the other side.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and that's what we're seeing. Oh, yeah. So points right now are all of the points on the board. I was just talking with Truman at that timeout. All the points on the board coming from the Mustangs, including a hitting error to give Benton their point. And so now coming out of the timeout, Cameron Brand serving 12-1. Oh, Joe, we just talked about it. Come out of the timeout, get the serve in. Cameron had a nice run there, so we certainly can't ignore that, but that serve does go long, and it'll be Jans to serve at 2-12 for the Bobcats. Bobcats need a run here. Mustangs obviously want a side out. Jans is going to get that in. Ellison with the pass. Miller's going to set up Chloe Meester this side, and it goes inside the block by Nelson, and that'll be a point.
Chloe there looked a bit off on her timing with the set from Madeline.
Well, they kind of ran the backdoor gate. Normally Miller would have set Meester on the far side of the court from us. This time she ran the back door for Miller, and she back set her, which is a little unusual to see Meester do that. So we've got a stop and play here. The down official is, I think, questioning rotation on the Benton side. Coach Emberson's being asked. Wonder if they're questioning whether Jan should be serving. Regardless, it's going to be 13-2, whether it's 13-2 from that point just put away by Meester or it's 13-2 by the rotation error. So, Joe, when a rotation question is brought from the official, A lot of times they got to go well deep in the tracking of the rotation to figure out where that error occurred and build it back up to see if it's right or it's wrong. Takes a little bit of time. Fortunately, we've got some entertainment here between the two student bodies. And arriving is Mount Vernon Cross Country. State qualifiers. The boys are state qualifier. And Mount Vernon sending all kinds of sports deep in the postseason. In fact, all 4 major sports with a chance to go to the playoffs and some type of state form this year. We've got a little bit of football left to play. Last regular season for the boys for football is this Friday night, and then they enter postseason.
Yeah, and if the boys win this Friday, we get both of our first 2 playoff games at home.
Chloe Meester puts that one away, and a little correction on what was being negotiated there. It was actually, I think, Mount Vernon that was out of rotation, and so they gave that point to Benton. Jans kept the serve, and now it's 13-3, Madeline Miller to serve.
I'm happy they didn't have one of those when I was broadcasting. I would have no idea what to say.
You just tell the story as you see it. Nelson puts that one away for the Bobcats. Side out to Benton for 13. Jungi comes in for Benton. Brooke DeRike goes out, and it'll be Townsley, their setter, primary setter, with the serve. Chloe Meester pounds that one for a point. So in this particular set, Joe, Benton's getting one shot. That's it. They get a serve, and then it goes over to Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon's going to either side out or get multiple points, but then Benton's going to get one more chance. The offense is flowing that well for Mount Vernon right now.
Yeah, and we've had probably 5 to 6 serves in a row most of the time for the Mustangs.
Nelson off the block.
They are really struggling.
Chloe Meester, back row attack. And she kills it from the 3-meter line for a point. Chloe Meester, and by the way, if you want to go to kcrg.com, Chloe Meester could use your votes right now. She's vying for the Player of the Week. That would be the 3rd athlete from Mount Vernon with a chance for Player of the Week. Go to kcrg.com, look for that poll that's there. She was leading when I checked, when I voted the first time, and then they had a surge for one of the others. We'd love to see Chloe up there, and I think she deserves it, Joe. She's a phenomenal athlete.
Absolutely. She's done such amazing things for this volleyball team this year.
She's back to serve at 16-4. Townsley adjusts, sets the ball to Nelson. Nelson off the block, dug by Meester. And then her sister, Emma, pounds it for the point. Borderline unfair to have that much power on the court at the same time between Chloe and Emma. Chloe Meester just a sophomore, Emma senior this year. Ready to move on to what's next in her journey, or will be in a few months. Mustangs are going to get it back. Madeline Miller to Parker Whittam off the block, and a point. Block attempt by Nelson. Not able to stay straight, and it's 18-4. Coach Epperson continuing to coach over there. Working hard with his team. Wants them in the right mindset, right rotation. Now Chloe serving 18-4. Townsley with the set to Nelson. Nelson pounds it off the block enough to slow it for Meester. And now Emma Meester with a shot, and it's going to go in.
And the Mustangs are looking like they're running away with this 3rd set here.
Yeah, I mean, it's all just geared up. The every single tooth from each of these gals as gears is working well for the Mustangs. Nelson bumps it over to Mount Vernon. There's another shot from the back row, and she hits it so hard it sends Jans over backwards. Libero did everything she could to dig it, and the Mustangs take a 24 lead here in the 3rd set. So, Joe, it looks like Mount Vernon's going to wait for the regional final. It'll be held here And that's going to be, we're going to see who that will be. That goes long off of Nelson. It's either going to be Vinton Shellsburg or Roland Story who are playing tonight over in Vinton Shellsburg. Mount Vernon, of course, and Vinton Shellsburg, they know each other well, just saw each other in the WAMAC Conference Tournament. Roland Story coming out of Central Iowa, not as well known, although it wouldn't surprise me if they've intersected them somewhere in a tournament. But you got to like the way the Mustangs are poised to move forward to that regional final.
Yeah, and the Mustangs really came out ready for this last set here. They started off great, went up 12-2, and they've really just kept the foot on the gas pedal.
They really have. Kia McNeil now in for the Mustangs. Madeline Miller took a dive for that one, couldn't come up with it. Chloe Meester goes out. You got a back row now, Aaron Jackson, Cameron Brand, and Brooke Ellison. Front line for the Mustangs, Madeline Miller, Kia McNeil, and Parker Whittam. Nelson with the serve at 5:21. There's a pass from Brand. Set to Kia McNeil. She's going to get a kill. Kia McNeil in. And just like her first opportunity in the WAMAC Conference Tournament last week, she gets a kill. Great job, Kia. Addison Gukin to serve at 22-5. Kia McNeil, another senior on the team. Big shot from Gukin. Addison Phillips is going to hit that one long. No touch called. And it'll be another Mount Vernon point. Joe, what kind of energy is there in the hallways right now? Successful cross-country men's and women's, boys and girls, star quality volleyball, and undefeated football. I mean, you guys just have to be crazy right now.
Yeah, and not only just in the halls of the high school here, it's everywhere in the town, because all these fans and parents here come out to support and watch all their kids. And really, I mean, no matter where we are, some team from Mount Vernon is being talked about, whether it's the volleyball team playing amazing, the cross-country team's running great, the football team obviously undefeated.
Yep.
I mean, all teams, all kids are the talk of the town.
And then you've got marching band, who had another phenomenal season this year. You've got all-state musicians, the largest number of all-state qualifying attempts this year. And that's going to be a point to Benton as Kia McNeil stepped underneath. She was going for the tip and just had a little too much momentum. So 23-7, it'll be Kennedy Donald serving for Benton at 7:23. So really across the landscape of every opportunity this fall for the student body, just really going well.
Yeah, and I mean, the Mustangs just as a whole, we're just doing amazing this year. Whether it be the athletics, academics, the arts,
yep,
just in all circles, doing great.
Pass by Jackson. Madeline Miller's going to set up Kia McNeil on the outside. Not able to get that one over. It'll be 4 touches. As the tape kicked it back, Brooke Ellison advanced it, and it'll be another point for Benton. Donald to serve at 9:23. So 2 points to match. Serving against 2 points to match. Madeline Miller sets up Vaughn. That's in. And the Mustangs, Jaden Rowland coming in to serve. She will be serving for the match. 24-9. Mustangs looking to move on to that Tuesday night regional final and host it here in Mount Vernon, regardless of the outcome between Vinton Shellsburg and Roland Story. Jaden Rowland, the overpass, comes right back to her. Madeline Miller's going to set up Brooke Ellison. And it was dug by Townsley. So Benton stays alive. Jans moves it over to the Mustangs. Now Miller's going to take it herself. And that's it. 25-9, the final. Congratulations to the Benton Bobcats on making it to the regional semifinal. And any team will tell you that not being able to go to the end is a disappointment. You know, you set it up big, Joe. But you got to think that they've stayed in it as long as they could. Great win last week over West Marshall to make it to this point. And best of luck to them as that group looks to move on for their future.
Yeah, and they fought hard those first two matches. Got kind of worn down first two sets, and got kind of worn down in that third one by the Mustangs. But kudos to them for sticking in it.
So, the big challenge, player of the game. We got to pick the Richardson Hanson Hotes Insurance Agency player of the game. What do you got?
I think my player of the game, I'm going to go with a bit of an underdog here, Jaden Rowland.
Jaden Rowland.
I thought she did an amazing job in the back row. Lots of digs. She had a few aces there, I thought, and really kept the defense put together.
Well, I'm not going to deny you your pick. I think it's a great pick. There's no doubt Chloe Meester dominated this Benton Bobcat team, and we'll see from Truman here just a little bit what the final kill statistics were. But when you talk about impacting the game from inside, the intangibles, the energy, the glue that sticks this all together, I think that's a great pick. So, Jaden Rowland, congratulations to the Richardson Hanson Hotes Insurance Agency player of the game. Joe, I'll come back to you in just a minute. Let's give your headset over to Truman and get some final statistics from him. So Truman, a big time outing for the volleyball team, and look at the energy that walked into the room as both the boys and the girls cross country teams are state qualifiers.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Big night for Mount Vernon Athletics.
Big night for Mount Vernon Athletics. This team in that third set showed you just about everything that they've got.
Well, I just point out that Benton got 9 points. We had 4 hitting errors, a net call, and a serving error. So we gave them 6 of their 9 points with our errors. They got essentially no offense because we played great defense.
Yeah.
We had, get this, 18 kills.
Oof.
2 aces for a plus 20. And then we had a minus 6. So we were net plus 14 for the set.
Wow.
And
wow.
in the, Chloe Meester had 19 kills in a 3-game set. That means she was more than 1 kill per set over her average. But the back row played so much better. You didn't watch them on Monday night, but Joe and I were here. Back row played tremendously better than they played on Monday night. We had some great saves by Jaden Rowland back there.
She was all over the floor.
Our libero, once they got their first set jitters worked out and they knew who was going to take the ball.
Right.
They really made some great saves. That head save.
Yeah. The jaw, the head, the shoulder, whatever it was. We've got, you are a student of volleyball and passionate about it from every perspective. You've got Vinton Schellsberg and Roland Story that one of the two of them are going to come out on top tonight and make it here for Tuesday night. What do you know about? We know enough about Vinton Schellsberg. Do you have any sense of Roland Story and what the matchup's going to look like either way?
I expect Vinton Schellsberg will win that match because they're ranked and Roland Story isn't. But you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
But we should be able to handle either team. We should.
Well, we should. Well, we look forward to that. I hope that you'll be in the same spot. It'll be a Briesmeister team taking the call. We're going to keep Joe in his seat, and Eric Briesmeister will be on to do the call and have them work with you on statistics.
That'll be excellent. I love this way to work, actually.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Yeah, I love it too. Thank you very much, Truman. Great work as always. So that's it from Mount Vernon. Jaden Rowland called by Joe Briesmeister as player of the game, the Richardson Hanson Hotes Insurance Agency player of the game. Our sponsors, once again, bringing this to you for free: Ability Physical Therapy, Richardson Hanson Hotes Insurance Agency, Bunch Heating and Cooling, Gary's Foods, Lynch Ford Chevrolet, Downtown Dental, Iowa Physical Therapy, Hall & Hall Engineering, Copenhagen Associates, Lunescus Consulting, Mount Vernon Bank and Trust Company, Robinson Construction, Budget Blinds of Eastern Iowa, and a great job with blocks tonight, several of them from the Mustangs. Kyla Vaughn with a hat trick, right? Along with Parker Whittam. Greater Cedar Rapids Community Foundation. Joining them are season sponsors: Mount Vernon Family Dentistry, Palisades Family Dental, Scores Wilkie Liquors, U.S. Bank Home Mortgage Purchase and Refinancing, and they remind you, hey, are you purchasing, refinancing, or building a new home? Contact James Erickson at U.S. Bank Home Mortgage Purchase and Refinancing. They've got great rates, products, and service. Also, Bluegrass Enterprises, Mount Vernon Chiropractic, Mount Vernon Community Development Group, Bridge Community Bank, Photo Image, and Stuart Baxter Funeral Home. Joe, great job tonight. It was an exciting match, one the Mustangs completely dominated, setting them up for an entertaining regional final. I think you're going to get a chance to call that with your dad. What's that going to be like?
Oh, that should be fun. I won't make fun of him too much on that broadcast.
All right, I'll hold you to that. That'll be Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, right here in the home gymnasium. They're waiting for Vinton Shellsberg, Roland Story. Maybe you guys already know that if you're on KCRG or Varsity Bound or somewhere that the live stats are presented for you. Joe, great job tonight. It's fun to call this team. I mean, you can't watch this team. You can be a non-volleyball fan, watch this team, and get excited about them.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just an exciting team to watch, and I'd say that I love doing this. I mean, I was nervous the first time, but it's definitely better with someone up here like you. Just such a great announcer to help me.
Well, I appreciate that, and we've got a lot more. We'll have some fun together. Hopefully, well, you're going to be playing basketball, so I won't have you up here for basketball season. But
if you ever need an interview, I'll be willing to come up and talk.
All right, man. Well, good luck next week. He's Joe Briesmeister. On the left side of me, Truman Jordan. I'm Jim Beatty. We're Mustang Vision. Mustang Volleyball's coming your way Tuesday night. But before that, a little football action from Mount Vernon as they look to go 9-0 and carry an undefeated record into the playoffs. Good luck to Mount Vernon. Congratulations to the boys and